Welcome back to Varnadore Films and Watching Film. I'm Seth Varnadore. I was a high school and college football coach for nearly a decade. And now I break down football on YouTube. So quite a fall for me, but here we are. Speaking of falls, Florida's offense from week 1 to week 2, a precipitous drop. Now, I think that had a lot to do with the opponent. Kentucky's a lot better on defense than Utah. They're more physical and more athletic. And they really make you earn it down the field, which I think Utah tried to do, but they didn't have the athletes to quite match up as well and give Florida as many problems. And Florida had some problems. Some of it was self-inflicted, as we'll see here. Some of it was having trouble up front, and especially in the passing game. I thought there were some issues, but let's go ahead and dive in. We're not going to talk defense today. I thought the defense played really well outside of one or two plays. But if you look at the numbers and the metrics, the defense was pretty good and definitely good enough to win. But the real story, I think, is the offense. So let's take a look at the Florida offense here and see what the issues were on Saturday. So we're going to look at every play here. Some we'll go through faster, some we'll go through, take our time with, but we'll start here. First play of the game. You got the orbit motion. My question here is this supposed to be split zone? If it's supposed to be split zone, right? He's the rule is the end man on the line of scrimmage. So technically, right, he's the end man on the line of scrimmage. But with him walked up here, as soon as now they might have thought that he would widen out with this motion, and then they don't have to block him. Maybe that's a look they saw all week in practice, but just follow the rules. I would consider him the end man on the line of scrimmage. So I should be coming to kick him out if this is split zone, which I think it is, right? And you'll see a better look at it on the next play. So right there, kick him out for two things. You may have, if you kick him out here, you may have gotten the back door. And even so, look who ends up you end up making the play. It looks like the back makes him miss. Now he's probably going down regardless, but this guy closing down the backside makes the play. And if it's not split zone, I'm surprised you're not arcing that and reading it. So right here, I don't know if that's the H-back's fault, but I would assume based on the play call that this was supposed to be some type of split zone, and he assumed this was the end man on the line of scrimmage and not him, which kind of you get a positive play here, but maybe a better play. Maybe he cuts this thing out. If I get this kicked out, maybe he cuts this thing out the back door here, and he's coming to fill downhill, and maybe you get a really big play on the first play of the game, but wasn't to be. Here's what I'm talking about with split zone, though. Let's now that it's not quite as there's no confusion here, right? He's down, but split zone, he's coming back across and kicking out the end man. So right here, he does that. And now you see the back door right here on the second play that probably should have been there on the first play, right? There's the back door, but this is an RPO, so there's a throw element to it. You got the slant there. He fills like crazy for the run, and we're reading him and throwing off of him. So right here, he fills. Good job flipping your hips, getting the ball out while getting some trouble at your feet. And, I guess that's not roughing, but, So here you get a first down. Great play. Get a first down. This is a easy read here. You're going to have it's basically a flood concept. You're flooding three guys in the area, but instead of running a go route here, they're going to run a post. Why do they do that? Well, if Kentucky's playing some type of quarters where he's got eyes on two or he's playing number two, when two gets vertical and breaks out, he's going to take him. So then you got one-on-one here to the post. So right there, he takes him. This is the right decision. Maybe not so much air. Maybe put this thing on him. There's not a ton of separation, but right there, he's got leverage. So if he's got leverage, give him a chance to make the play. Doesn't quite give him a chance to make the play. Incomplete on first down. But the concept is there, right? You see that we're trying to get this safety to take this out route. He takes it. Thank you very much. I got my post shot over the top. You saw this in a different way from Spurrier back in the day in the Mills play. Instead of him breaking out, he breaks in. But the same thing, if he sits here, I'm going over his head. I think Riedel Anthony's touchdown against Tennessee to open the game. That may have been something else. But think of one of the Ernie Mills touchdowns that he scored on it, and that's why it's called Mills. But it's really a dig with a post behind it, trying to get the safety to jump up on the dig, and they throw the post. I think the Riedel Anthony was like an extra zebra look where they brought the guy from across the other side. But regardless, it was a high-low. So here we get a second. Now you take your shot, and then this is kind of an unfortunate one. You get a jump there, and they're taught if the guy jumps, right? We see the nose here, jumps. If they snap it, you don't get the penalty. So now you basically just waste a play here because you're only snapping it to try to get the penalty, right? Trying to catch them when they jump. So a little bit unfortunate here. Don't get that. 3rd and 10. I've seen some people ask, why do they keep motioning the backs and the tight ends outside the receivers, right? Well, if Kentucky's not playing, first of all, it gives the quarterback an idea of coverage, right? Motion helps confirm coverage a little bit. But as I motion out here, I think my guess would be Florida staff had respect for the Kentucky corners. They're athletic, long-looking guys. So they figure, why don't I get my receivers matched up on safeties as much as I can? So if you're not going to play man, right? If you play man and they take a backer out of the box against your running back, then you feel pretty good about that. If they're not going to play man and they just bump it like they do here, right? Well, now I got my receiver, one of my better receivers right here, matched up on a safety. So down here, this looks to me like almost stick with the slot fade instead of the go route here and the flat route by number 2. So stick over here, and then you're going to have a dig here. I believe this is a hitch, right? And all the quarterback's going to do is he's going to eye this defender right here, this Mike. If he opens to the stick, which he does, that should open the space back here for the dig, right? That's the read for the quarterback. That's a play call. Sound play call against his look. So right here, let's let it play. Right here, I'm eyeing him. You can see Richardson's eyes are on him. He opens there. That means I got space here, right? So let's watch the space develop. He's playing this. Could have fired that in there probably and been all right with it. And if you get on his outside shoulder there, you're still good. But you have the dig as well, and he decides to go to the dig. You just got to put it on him. If you hit him in stride, you got a good play here. He could break a tackle, make something happen. At worst, you pick up the first down. Well, that's the concept right there. Eyes on him. He turns to here. That means I should have this coming back. And also, right, the tight end's out here. So now you got you're wasting a corner on a tight end running the hitch. You're wasting a corner on a running back running the hitch. And now I've got safeties trying to match up with my 3 best receivers. So if you want to know why are they motioning those guys out, why do they put their tight end out? It's a waste of time. It's a waste of a rep. That's why. It's about creating better matchups for your receivers who I don't think any are crazy explosive, right? So any advantage you can get with those guys, you want to take. So that's off the field on 3rd down. So now next drive, come out 1st and 10. A little bit different look, empty with a tight end attached. And this, to me, I think this is this might be Haas juke, where it's a similar look here as the last one, where it looked like stick, except he's going to stick, and then he can juke back inside. Then you got the seam there. Kind of the same look as the last one on the front side at least. On the back side, it's the same thing, hitch seam, right? Haas, hitch seam. Then juke underneath. The New England Patriots with Tom Brady made a living off this play. This was Wes Welker. This was, Amendola. This was all those kind of guys. Julian Edelman, they're the juke guys. I think you even got the tight ends running the juke sometimes. But you had the juke, and then you'd have the big tight end running down the seam on the other side. So Another sound concept here in the passing game, and you get the seam right there on a rope. Good catch for a first down. You got a good drive going to start here. You like the matchup, so you take the fade. The other the other thing that's being questioned a lot is the run pass splits. Richardson throws the ball 35 times a game, 35 times in the game, or 34 times. This is a called run play. He's got the option if the corner's rolled up, he can take the shot. But in here, we're running the ball. So he's got options on a lot of plays. Now maybe they want him to change. I think there's a few we'll see later that he would have been better served doing something else. But he has the decision-making power at the line of scrimmage. So on second down, motion, I would guess this was something I talked about. You don't see it here, but kind of putting the formation in the boundary. I talked about that on the preview. Florida does that quite a bit. But motion here, I'm assuming they want this motion to kind of get him to vacate the box here. And I think Kentucky's, I would imagine they're misaligned here. They are slanting, so they're probably not misaligned. I misspoke there. So you got down blocks, down blocks, down blocks. I'm assuming we're going to here, kick, wrap. You got a pretty good play. And they had these guys going to safety for a lot of the night, right? You'd rather block safeties than corners. Blocked up pretty good. The safety comes make the play. That's when you got to make those guys pay with play action, right? In here, like I'm coming to get you, get vertical at the seam. You got to make those guys pay with that kind of stuff, but not badly blocked here. Blocked pretty well, actually. 2nd and 10, you pick up a pretty good gain on the ground there. 3rd and 5, this play had a ton of options, and I think any one of them could have worked, depending on how he wanted to play it. But I'm sure how he's taught is motion. If this motion gets matched by the backer, I'm running, right? You got a pretty light box. You got a 5-man box basically. Here you got a go route. You got a speed out. So you could play this too. If you think it's man coverage, maybe you want to hit this speed out. If you watch Pearsall here, that's an easy first down too if I decide to throw it. He decides to run, which is, again, not a bad decision by the rule they have laid out. It's probably the right decision. What you don't want to do is say, hey, or I think what you probably hear in the film room, if you're in there with them, is, hey, you're a 240 or 250-pound freak of nature. Run straight forward and make them tackle you. Don't try to cut back. If he just runs straight ahead, I think he probably picks up the first down here instead of trying to cut back, taking all his momentum away. He's a big dude. He's like a runaway freight train when he gets going. So don't make it easy on him. But you see there's 3 options there. All of them really are pretty good options. I think he could have even thrown this out here. And if you get blocks there, he's outflanked. Or hopefully you trust your running back in a foot race to the sideline with the linebacker. So 3 different options here, all pretty good. Just kind of suboptimal finish to the play there. All right, get the ball back here. 4 minutes, 32 seconds left. Little wide zone. So why didn't AR pull a lot of stuff, or why wasn't he pulling? Oh, here we go. Actually, this is a we have to start here. This play was lost in the video I found, so we had to go to Florida Gators condensed game here. So let's go back to the first one. So if you're wondering why didn't AR pull it a ton on the backside of the read game, I think he probably got this look quite a bit where you have one playing the mesh, one playing the quarterback. Hopefully you can use that to your advantage. Now, Kentucky, one thing they did a ton last year that they did some in this game, they gave Florida some problems. It wasn't a ton of problems, but it gave them some issue is moving the front. Kentucky loves to move the front. Last year, Florida could not block it at all when they moved the front. That's what they had such big issues in the run game last year. So here you go. You got this is a good play call as well, or you got something here. You catch Kentucky a little bit, rotating almost like deep half or something here. And then he opens up. I'm not quite sure what happens here, but there's a post and there's some space to fit that thing in. I would think that's the first read always. but he doesn't like it. Comes off it and makes a really great throw on the sideline on the post wheel here. Good catch, way to get your feet in bounds. But you might have the post wheel here too. So it's just boot with post wheel. You've also got Whittemore coming across here that would have opened up into some space if that was not covered up. So good design, good execution, get you a first down there on 2nd and 7. Oh, yeah. I keep forgetting this is the we got to go off one clip here. All right, so 1st and 10. The same flood concept here they used earlier. Out, flat, everybody falls off. Good decision, drop it to the flat. Got to get a little bit better ball here, but here's something that is why is the ball so kind of high? You can see here the right tackle trips. I don't know if he tripped out of his stance or tripped over a foot, but he goes down early. And so you're able to get some pressure right in his face where you maybe wouldn't have otherwise. Leads to an errant throw. Could have been caught, kind of bumbled and dropped there. 2nd down. 2nd and long now. 2nd long. Looks like we're changing up the play here. Going to zone to the left. Good cut. Nobody ever gets up to the 2nd level there. This is a tough one right here, right? Sometimes linemen are taught to look at the near hip, right? So as I come out, I'm looking at the near hip. If he's away from me, then I can climb. He stays on this maybe a little too long, right? You'll see him get a hand and push this guy back on, but I think he's pretty far on. And he's not able to ever kind of get up to that 2nd level. I don't know if this may just be a good play by the backer. But he may have been able to get up to the 2nd level a little quicker there. But I'm not quite sure exactly how they're teaching it. I know some guys teach it, just watch that near hip. If he's gone, you can climb. But then, you do. He doesn't really give help to the backside here, so I don't think that's part of his concern. If he climbs, is this better? Maybe. But good hard run. This guy's a dude. I think you're probably going to see a lot more of him. So then you get to 3rd and 5 here. 3rd downs were killers for Florida. This is probably one of their easier ones on the night. And this is the right read here. So concept, everyone loves to run. This is actually Florida ran a version of this on that crazy 2-point conversion last week. Out of a different look, but same idea for the quarterback at least. Snag, corner flat. This is the right decision, right? 3rd down, pick it up. Now this guy drives on the ball, and you could think maybe I could get the corner over it. But 3rd and 5, by the time the ball's thrown, this is the right decision. He's throwing it before he starts his windup, before he's out of his break. This thing gets on you in a hurry, but you can't exactly just lob it in there. Receiver's not able to hold on here. So that's not on AR right there. That's a good throw. These guys work on jugs machines. There's no such thing as throwing too hard into these tight windows, I don't think. So you got to make that play there. Help them out. You catch that, get tackled right there. It's a 1st down. The drive keeps going, right? 1st and 10. I think a decent amount of run into the boundary, which is kind of interesting. I wonder if that's something they saw. Formation into the boundary, like we talked about on our preview last week at Kentucky. Miami of Ohio did some formation in the boundary. I thought you had some interesting possibilities there. So Florida did go formation in the boundary like we thought they might. Go zone. I thought Kentucky just really did a good job of just kind of stringing things out and being tough at the point of attack. They're just a lot more physical than Utah was. I don't think Florida. It's not that Florida wasn't ready for that, but it was definitely a step up, right? Yeah, that one got missed. Well, this was, I thought, one of the best throws of the night. The previous one, Let's see if we can see just the protection here. See, this is one where you have it cuts off here at the end, but you're running smash, but you're making it look like smash almost, I believe, and he's going to turn like he's running the corner and just get vertical. So all you really, if you get this guy to bend with you, well, now you've got the leverage right there up the seam, and but this ball has to be thrown so quickly because you slid right. Kentucky brought pressure here, so you slid this way. And now he's sliding to close that gap down, which is correct, right? You don't want the shortest path is a straight line, right? So make them go the long way. But look at all that trouble at his feet. And he's starting to feel it. So he has to get this thing out of there. Leads to a little bit of an errant throw there. So 3rd down now. I thought this was the throw of the night right here. This is really good with a bunch of trouble. Like the last play at your feet, you're throwing from the right hash to the left sideline. This is a long throw, too. And you see here, the back whiffs on his protection responsibility. And this is just a great throw right here. Right? The line's got 4, and there's 4 here. You got to slide for that. So these 4 are sliding. So I don't know. I'm not sure what their check is, if they can call a full slide. So he can full slide. So you got a bigger body on this bigger body, and the back's off the edge. But without that called, right, we've got a slide. You can see he's kind of in between. He's kind of trying to do a little bit of both here. Not super fair. He ends up doing okay. But there's some confusion here for sure in the protection. May have been better off big on big in it or something to that effect, because they still end up bringing more than you can block, at least it seems. But this is also one of those, I think, simulated pressures where he's going to engage, and if he gets blocked, he's going to drop out. So it gets you the ability to bring pressure and get a guy unblocked without totally sacrificing your coverage. But great throw here by Richardson with all this craziness at his feet. Good throw and catch for a 1st down. Then this, this to me is, I don't know if this is the rule or by the letter of the law, but this is a soft call in my opinion. You know, he's not they're not perpendicular. You get that a lot when it's a perpendicular. He's turning to face him. To me, that's good. Kentucky still played it really well, but that penalty sets you back to 1st and 25, and now you're really in it. This is just a deep curl. This isn't too dissimilar to. I don't think this is real dissimilar to the one. It looks like he kind of mirrors it here. I don't think it's too dissimilar to the one that Pearsall caught against Utah, the deep curl route. I mean, that's catchable ball. It's not right on you. It's a little behind you, but it's catchable. You want to catch that one, help your guy out a little bit if he's struggling. But another one that I thought was catchable. This one, this is one where you've got what you want really. Zipper runs shallow. Pearsall's coming behind it. I'm not sure if Richardson was trying to throw it over the ref or if he just totally missed. But you can see Pearsall breaks open here. If he's able to put this thing on him, right? If he's able to put it on him, he's got a chance to do some run after catch there. Does he pick up the 1st down? Possibly. Does it at least get you in 3rd and manageable? Yeah, for sure. Now you're in 3rd and 25. Let's just run zone, get out of here. Let's not do anything stupid with a young quarterback and put him in a bad situation, and he'll throw a pick or something like that, right? You don't want anything like that. You're doing well right now. Just manage the game. Next time around. Excellent job here. The orbit motion, right? You got split flow in the zone and orbit motion. Not a perfect block on the split flow. Well, this is pretty good right here. He's playing here. Center just runs him by. You got guys climbing. Look at White right here, climbs, right? This is kind of what we talked about on one of the previous runs. He's able to climb right now. Doesn't do a great job, but does enough. And the back's able to take it for a big play here. Just wide zone kind of mixed with that orbit motion gives you a little bit of hesitation, especially from the back end, and helps you pop a big run. So then this is when you go 1st and 10 here. All right, so what you missed here is you had to shift. The tackle comes over here. So now you're going to end up with 3-by-1 tackle over. And this is when I think if Richardson gets as he has more experience, right? To look if you look out here and it's the letter of the law, right? I thought he was following really the letter of the law a little bit too much and wasn't quite feeling it, right? But in reality, I got 2/3. This should be a good play to throw it out here, right? 1, 2, 3. But I've also got great numbers here, especially once he widens. I got great numbers for this run play here, right? I should be up to him here, here, and when you add him and the read element here, if he can just go, they can go straight up. You don't have to worry about that, right? So I thought that they had good numbers in the run game here, and if you give that and he runs it this far out, well, now I've got a straight vertical cut lane right there, and you'd feel pretty good about that. But did he make the wrong decision? No, not really. But I think maybe he could have made a better decision by handing this thing because you have pretty good numbers in the run game right there. So you get a positive game, but it could have been better there. You get yourself in 2nd and long. That's a tough run to get nothing, but this is the movement, right? Moving on the backside, not quite able to cut off here. Got to get your head across. Because if you can get your head across and kind of wash that thing down and you get a good kick, well, now you got a lane and you're one-on-one with the safety. But he beat you across face right there. I believe that's the tight end. He beat you across face because you got a good kick out coming. If you're able to wash him down here, there's your running lane right there. But you get beat across face and it goes for no gain, right? So it's just little things that can be fixed, but you got to be ready for that. So now you're in 3rd and 8. This is when they might want to have back, but it's felt pretty good with probably how hard Kentucky was rushing the passer. You kind of want to throw by here by the left guard. Right, once you get engaged, throw him by. He kind of goes for it, and the backer does a good job there of not making it happen. But Kentucky played this pretty well. And you're off the field again on 3rd down. Yeah, this was an adventure here. So Kentucky, they play a ton of they like to limit explosives. So it's going to be tough, I think, to get shots on top of them. They do a pretty good job of closing that down and getting depth, right? Good pass rush is able to get the hand on the ball there. Richardson fumbles it. But I thought Florida struggled, I thought, at times. The numbers won't show it, but I thought they struggled in pass protection a decent bit, and that led to some of Richardson's poor showing, in my opinion. But he's still somehow able to get 4 yards on that play, which is wild to me. I did double take and double check that number a few times. But you get yourself in 2nd and 6. A good cut. You see Kentucky does a great job of just stringing this thing out. You got to get more, right? This is kind of you got to get more here. If you can get some push there, you probably got a decent play. but good cut by the back and good job by the tight end there to keep working, get something out of it. But they kind of that was a physical. They won the physical battle there. Formation in the boundary here. Kentucky didn't really take the bait a ton on formation into the boundary against Miami of Ohio. They really overloaded that thing, and they looked misaligned. Didn't really take the bait here, but good. Again, a little split zone action, and then like I showed earlier, they would go down and dig out that safety a lot on the run plays. Good job here by Pearsall going in there, digging that guy out. Good run by Etienne for a first down. Nothing crazy, just better execution, right? And the motion mixed with that stuff can help. Here's one AR probably waits a little bit too long on. So you've got corner, over. You got two, and then you'll have two in the flat here, right? They're all washing down, corner, over's coming. The back's in the flat first, and then the receiver's actually going to follow behind here. So right here, you should probably cancel the corner out. He's got outside leverage. The over is not clear either. I'm just looking right now to drop it to this right here is what you're hoping. Drop it, get me something. This one, he's waiting too long for the corner out to come open. You see, he's got the leverage. It'll never happen. This throw's cloudy. You should be here already, and then if not there. Held it. Still pick up something, but probably held it a little too long here. Great job here. Motion. Using this receiver to dig that out, and now you've got counter coming. Good job. And then this is what you try to get guys one-on-one with the DB, and this is why. Thank you. Nice run there. Really good job here. One underrated aspect here. This is a nightmare of a block right here with all this traffic. Right? He's got to block down and cover up this gap and help cover up this gap a little bit. Watch the center get all the way back here. Look at that. Great job by him getting all the way back there, allowing these guys to go in there. And then he's helped shoring up the pulling guard hole or the pulling tackle hole, I guess. He kind of adds in. But really good job by the center to help spring this run. Good job by the two pullers as well on this play. So good stuff. When they executed the schemes, good stuff usually happened. It wasn't like they were totally physically outmatched or anything like that. All right, this is a good job getting through this. It looks like you almost have like a mesh-like play. You got crossers coming back here. He's back out there, hoping to kind of widen this area up, and they do widen it up, and that's how he's able to slip right there. All right, they take the crosser here. He's on the crosser there. He's widened out with this. Opens up the middle of the field right there. Drop it off. Nice job, 2-point play. Good job. I mean, just some of these are just a good job by the Kentucky defense filling like crazy and getting off blocks. There's not a ton to some of these. Similar concept is what the one he missed earlier to Pearsall, where you got a shallow and then a deeper crosser, almost similar to a Y cross concept. But this is this is ease of use on the quarterback to me, where you've got similar concepts and similar out of different formations. It's the same reads for the quarterback. Should be making things a little bit easier for him. 3rd and 3. I mean, this is a pretty good play. There's Could you have placed the ball a little bit better? Is that just a crazy play by that dude too? Yeah, I mean that's part of it. But right here, it's kind of what this is what you want design wise. You've got him outflanked. You're just trying to pick up the first down. He catches it. He's going to get the first down. Um, Great play here, and that kind of the two interceptions obviously changed the game. And without those, we may be talking a little bit differently and feel a little bit differently about the game on Saturday. So Kentucky goes down and score. You get the ball back. Pass running out. We're not doing too much here. Motion. Just running some zone. Little wide zone. Good cut. All the way back. But this is kind of the thing, right? If you've got a guy that's playing boot and quarterback because of Richardson, he's also sitting there for the cutback as well. If you're not able to complete passes and loosen people up, it's going to be a problem against good teams or physical teams like Kentucky that are just content to let you kind of chip away down the field and hope you self-destruct. All right, with the motion again, the back door should be pretty good right here. If you're able to stick your foot in the ground and get vertical, they close it pretty well. This is one where you see this in the booth. Maybe we got to have him keep another one just to get him to slow down a little bit. But this is probably one you want to get vertical a little bit quicker, right? If I'm reading helmets, everything's telling me this thing's going back, right? We see the helmets here. Some guys read helmets, but everything tells me that is dead. I'm going to have to get back. So maybe see it a little quicker here, but that's hard, right? Just the way it hits where it's not just vertical where he's kind of aiming wide. He's trying to get vertical. And if you don't lose this, right? If we're able to get that there, we still may have a chance. But those two things combined equal a 2-yard gain instead of a bigger play. So you got sneaking Pearsall in at wing. Trying to do some different things, right? So it's not totally the same stuff right here. You're sneaking Pearsall, I believe, in at the wing. And this is just a protection issue, right? Where you just kind of slide. You pick the wrong way to slide. You know, he's got a head up, so I think he assumes, right? But you've got 3-on-2 over here, and then 2-on-3 back here. So if you could get that slide figured out, or if you can get this thing passed off a little bit quicker, then maybe you got a shot right there. But again, well designed. You see, you got 2-on-1 right here with the tackle. And Richardson's got the right idea. He's looking for this vertical first, and he's got a hitch outside. You see this guy, you see him turn and carry and wall off that vertical. There you go. Throw the hitch. It's there, but you're getting smoked as I step up and hitch up to throw it, right? So that's not a Richardson issue right there. Again, protection issue. You see that you kind of want this thing to be thrown a little quicker. Right here, if I don't have this in my lap right now, maybe I can get to Pearsall, which I think we do. We have the back view. Yeah, we have the back view here. So this is a tough look. How do you want to play it? I mean, you got 5-on-5. Technically, you could maybe big on big. I'm not sure what their protections are. But with that twist, that's where you got to pass that thing off. All right, as he starts to come in here, I got to think games with how Kentucky plays. He's coming back in, right? And it just never quite – I get pushed back. Now I try to hinge back for this game. It's too late. I'm in his lap. So as he's looking here, it would have been nice if he could have time to cancel that come to here because look, that's where it's at right there. You see Pearsall running, throw it right there, let him run. I don't know if he's taking too long on this initial read or if it's just this thing's happening fast because we're not protecting this great. Right? He doesn't want to throw. You got smash over here. He doesn't want to throw that hitch, which he'll get over that later. He doesn't want to throw that hitch right now. The corner's a little muggy. If he's able to get to Pearsall here, you got a first down. He's not able to, and this one just throw it away. Live to play another down. So that's another third down. That one as maybe a little bit of processing, a little bit of pass pro here. So there you go. Kind of a weird in between there at the end, but you see they're closing down. They started to close down the backside a little bit there. Closing down the backside, starting to blitz runs or really play run hard. Take off and go. Gets a little piece of the horse collar there. Brings him down. You just got to that's got to be a better block outside. That's kind of your read here. They're bringing these two. This is the right decision. Put it on him. If you get that thing blocked out there, which the tough part of this is, I would imagine with that, they're not, I don't think he's being told to go to the roof on that. I think he's got this dude one-on-one right here. If you get that block, if this dude's blocked right here, now you've got a lot of space to run for Henderson. He makes the first guy miss, makes something positive out of it, but if you get a little bit better blocking out there, you could add a little bit better play. Get yourself to 3rd and 3, formation into the boundary here. This was a rope, a frozen rope right here. Good job on 3rd down, finding the curl. And this was not – there's another view of this where, this is not an easy throw right here. He's right in the window. But makes a great throw. Good catch by Pearsall. Picks up a first down. Caught the snap late. SEC Network showing a replay. Just straight quarterback zone. Good cut. But you can press this hole. You can kind of trust him. He's getting off here. He tries to cut a little early. Lyman's not able to get there and engage. But you still pick up 3 or 4 on first down. Nothing wrong with that. Get yourself in 2nd and 6. We're pulling 2 guys again here. Good job right here. Taking him with you. Safety does a good job coming downhill and making a play on this thing. This is where you're hoping I can get, if I can throw the ball a little bit, get some play action to really make them pay for being this nosy. But Kentucky does a good job and keeps himself pretty safe here. So now you got a 3rd and 3. Bring the motion. Split zone. Bounce it. Pick up the first down. So I think we saw a little bit more split zone this week than we did last week. Maybe depending on how they played it. But good job here by the tackle just in this alignment. Give a hand and then climb. Don't be afraid just to climb. All right, gives a hand. Good job by the left guard right there. Good job here, engaging, overtaking that thing, letting the tackle get up. Good run for a first down. Now this is the one you want. This is the one you want back here. This one looks a little familiar. I'm not quite sure what the look was here. This guy's squatting, and he may be. I really don't. This is one I really don't know what he's seeing on this. He's squatting. I don't think he pedals. And I think the back is, that's not much of a pedal right there. I used to tell guys, look at that forward, like upper body posture. If he's leaning forward, he's coming downhill. Right. So if he's leaning forward, he's coming downhill for that ball. I think Naquan Wright's thinking, okay, I'm converting this into a go route, which, you just keep that thing on. I think you got both guys running down. you've got a really tough play now with that conversion. So I don't think I don't think he was running hitch. I think he turns back once he sees the ball's thrown. He's turning his head for the go, and now he's slowing down. Even if it was, you got to throw that. This is something I mentioned in the spring game. As good as Richardson played, same thing. This dude's squatting. You get away with it here in the spring game because you're throwing on a corner that's a little hurt. But that dude's squatting on that thing. You're not in the far hash too. You ain't making that throw against good defensive backs, right? And or good linebackers, right? This is something he's got to figure out. This is the same kind of look, and he's put that thing in danger a few times. So that's something he's got to clear out or get figured out, because that one's on him. There's nothing else. That is one that is totally on him right there, and that's something you can fix and clean up. But it's obviously somewhat of a pattern. Great run, great cut here. It seems like you've got two backs that are really separating themselves in the games. Good job by Shorter getting enough. Great cut. This right. Why do you block safeties and not corners? Here's why. Shorter, good job, gets a piece. Now you're one-on-one with the corner. We saw that safety come up and fill in the hole. Corners aren't doing that, right? Most of them. If they are, they're going to play in the NFL for a long time. Kentucky stout at the point of attack. This is another one where you're maybe trying for a shot, but Kentucky's going to. They love their. I think one of their big focuses on defense is limiting those explosive plays. It's hard to see exactly what you got downfield, but it would seem as if they did a pretty good job. And then you still get some pressure here. You had two guys to come in to block him. Both of them miss. That maybe could help something develop here. So, again, another kind of protection issue. Kentucky's got some tough dudes, man, that are physical and athletic. And it is not like what they saw last week. I think BYU is physical, but not as much on defense. And that's something I said in the preview coming into the Utah games. I didn't think their defense was that good. They didn't tackle well. They weren't crazy athletic. Kentucky's got some athletes, and they're going to be well coached. It's kind of consistent. Now, here's one where, hey, man, give him this. He's not afraid to come back to the hitch. But it's there. I think he might be a little early with it, because here the protection is not bad. You're a little early with it. And then, right, if I wait a little bit and he starts to drive it, well, now I've got this corner route coming back behind it. So, but a little early, a little behind. So not a great combination right there. We're in the fourth quarter now. Same thing. I mean, we've talked about this with Kentucky. They're starting to, if you have to press, they're going to be disciplined and make you kind of take what they can give you. So I think Florida maybe anticipated some more pressure off some of these, but Kentucky kept sitting back in some zone, make you throw it underneath and come up and complete passes. There you go. Hitch seam. Take the hitch when it's there. This is the concept is fine. Wide zone. Not really anywhere for this thing to go. You're cutting on the backside. You better, right? Cutting on the backside, and guys are still getting up and make a play. You don't really want to do that. Yeah, one back's got a lot of juice here. He's a dude for sure. Just split zone again, pressing the hole. Good job. There's not too much to talk about on some of these. Right. I wasn't able to watch the game. I was covering a different game, but I kept hearing about all the opportunities Richardson had to keep it. I haven't seen a ton of those in the run game. Like, here's one for the ball, here's one for Richardson, here's one for that. I think Kentucky went to a little bit more. I mean, maybe you think, well, that's all right. I'll take Richardson one on one with this guy, and yeah, maybe that's the calculus. But if you're trying to have him read it, well, then that's a little bit different, right? If you're making the right read, but they're overloading that backside on this. Probably when the back's offset, they're bringing two off this edge, or they're having two off the edge when the back is offset, right? Could be the idea, but I didn't see a ton of opportunities for him to keep it. There were a few, but it wasn't overwhelming. Like, seeing 4th and 3, there's nothing wrong with this. You get one on one with the slant. It would be nice if you didn't get if the line didn't get blown back into the quarterback's lap. That makes it tough. You can get on his body. You maybe had a little hold here, but he makes a play at the point of at the catch point. So, like, a little bit better throw, but again, I didn't think protection was great in this game. I thought that was not as big as some of the Richardson's misses, but that caused a few of them. And I didn't hear a lot of people talking about protection because maybe they didn't give up a lot of sacks, if any. But a lot of throws got altered, I thought. Outside zone, unable to maintain blocks here. 2nd and 9. Again, that's fine. Make them. That's the other thing. With these throws, people kind of get bored with this stuff, and it's the horizontal football. It makes them pull guys out of the box. If you keep throwing these for 5 yards, eventually they're going to have to bring people out of the box to deal with it, and that can help your run game, right? These are designed to protect your run game, right? These are plays you get. These are things you put together. These are I think smart football a long time ago called them constraint plays, right? There, if the defense tries to take your run game away, you attach this to it to make them have to defend something out of the box, right? If you get them out of the box, easier to run the ball. 3rd and 5, another third down. And this is when you just got beat up front. There's nothing you can do here. Like, again, do you want him to keep it? You got one here, they're slow playing it, and then you got one here as well. Maybe you keep it and throw it out there, which is a definite possibility, right? I keep it. This guy comes to me, he blocks him. I throw it out there as his basically triple option. You can do that, but this guy's slow playing it. If you get this blocked interiorly, like if I have a stalemate right there with the center, or right here with the center, and I'm able to get into that, I got a good play right there in the run game. It's just one guy missed a block or got beat on a block, and that's what happens. And 4th and 6, roll them out. You got protection, right? We got extra. We keep the tight end there for protection. You get what you want. Put it on him. Hold him up right there. Pick up the first down. Just was not his night, that's for sure. So you see, to me, it wasn't all Richardson. What you hear from everybody is it was all Richardson. He was terrible. That loss is totally on him, and that's what he said after the game as well. But I thought there was some stuff up front, especially in the passing game, where Florida could have played better. Kentucky does this to people with their movement, and they have a well-designed defense, and they have some tough guys on defense as well. I would assume this is going to be one of the better defenses you play this year. Not the best, unfortunately. You got something better coming down the pike, but this will be near the top, I think, a group in terms of being sound, playing with good fundamentals, being tough and physical, and having some guys that could match your athleticism on the outside. So tough test for Florida. They did not pass, but they get a chance to get right against USF this week. and then go in and play Tennessee, and you still got a lot to play for this season. So I'd imagine they'll get better. Got a good coaching staff. I thought the plan was fine. You just got to execute the plan. So maybe next week we'll be talking about another Florida win, and everybody will feel a lot happier about the offense. I'd imagine